Project number 2. We take out this first receptacle and we're going to put a GFI in, and we're going to have that GFI protect this second receptacle. So there's some things you need to know about the GFI. On the back of the GFI we have line and load. Line wires are the wires coming from our power. Load wires go from our GFI downstream. They carry the load. And then on the back of the GFI, it tells you how to wire it. It has on one side white, and on the other side it has hot. So, and on the GFI, remember on the receptacle how we made our terminal loops? And we said we don't backstab these because they have that spring on the inside and that spring becomes loose. With GFIs, you have to backstab. And on the inside of the GFI, there's a clamp in here. And so when we put our wires in behind that clamp and we tighten it down, we're mechanically holding this wire in place. Over here, where we relied on the spring to hold it in place. So just remember, GFI, you're going to backstab, and you have to look very careful on the inside of that to make sure that you get your wire between that internal clamp and the outside of the GFI. And once you've put it in there, you want to always pull on it. So we'll start here, and we'll start with our ground wire. And again, you just slide your ground in and tighten it down. And just like on the receptacle, we always want to make sure our terminations are tight. So tighten it as tight as you can get it. And then, like I said, on the back, our line wires up here, white wires over here, and you see we got 2 holes? It doesn't matter which hole because they're bonded together. So I'm just going to take my neutral. I'm pushing in on this screw, and I'm going to tuck that wire in. I don't want any bare wire sticking out here. And I'm going to tighten it down. And again, tighten as tight as you can, and then pull. Take your hot wire, top or bottom, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's this hole or this hole. Push that screw in and tighten it down. Now, if you get it and it doesn't go all the way, then you're going to need to clip this so it will go in there. So I'm just going to clip it just a little bit. Remember, we don't want any bare wire sticking out. And I've got to loosen this a little bit more so we can get that in there. So it should go in just like that, so you don't have any bare wire here, and tighten it down. Tighten it tight and pull. These are the load side. This is my hot. I'm going to take this, push that screw in, tighten it down as tight as you can get it, and pull. This is my load. Push the screw in, push your wire in, tighten it down. And what you're doing is you're pulling that clamp, that internal clamp, back against that and pull. We have ground down here. We want to make sure. Now see what happened? That wire came out. I didn't have it in there good. That's a good example of what happens if you don't have that in there and you don't have it tightened down. So always make sure that you tighten this down good and tight. If you don't have it tightened down and that comes out, then you have a failure. And then tuck it in so that we have the ground down here, we have the ground down there.